Okay, we are here today in the Hawthorne Inn in Annaclone, middle of nowhere, beautiful surroundings. We are the wee hot stove here behind us, and we're talking to a man I always wanted to talk to. I know him for 10 years now, but I always wanted to talk to Gerry Beggs, a man who does a lot for paracycling, but we let him tell us the story. Gerry, how are you, first of all?
Not too bad at all, Dany.
We see each other quite often on weekends,
Yeah.
but I never really know what you were into years ago, because that's what more my interest is, and the people who watching here as well. When did you start your cycling?
I started my cycling in 68 or 69, I'm not really sure. Rode a 10 on the Bombridge Club, and I've been in the Bombridge Club ever since.
So you're talking...
About 55, 56 years ago. Crazy.
That's a loyal member, all right.
Yeah.
And also on the day that we just received very good news from Cali in Colombia,
Yeah.
with Mark Dany, one of your lads, winning the gold.
Yes, well, Mark Dany used to go out with us on the bike, you say, on the Sunday runs, what we call the turn run. And he got a lot of, should I say, coaching, maybe sometimes in the wrong direction, and we even learned him how to drink a wee bit as well. But obviously we've been doing something right, so it's brilliant to see, and I can wish him the best of luck in the Worlds. That's 2 gold medals in World Cups now, so that's brilliant. Yeah.
And the better thing, 2 out of 2.
2 out of 2, indeed. He's leading the World Cup now. Yeah, that's
for an Irishman. Yeah. And a Banbridge man. But then Banbridge always have known for a sort of a talent pool.
Yeah.
Because you have the Roger Aikens, you have... Jesus, we can go on and on and on, can we?
I don't know of any other club in the north, and possibly even in the whole of Ireland, that has as much success as we have had over a long period of time. Like I've been in the club, we've had people riding at international level since 50 years ago, and continuing to do so now. So it's fantastic.
And do you actually remember your first bike and what make it was?
I do. An Ernie Clements. People wouldn't even know what it was now. No. It was made in Liverpool. Yeah. Right. A long time ago. Yeah.
And
fixed wheel.
Yeah. Fixed wheel as well. Yeah. And about you've done a bit of racing yourself on Northern Ireland level, at least. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, I've been riding now for about 55 years. Represented Northern Ireland, Ulster, cycling Ulster as it is now, I think on about 4 occasions. I have actually won 3 Irish medals, would you believe, gold medals, 2 on rollers. I was the first man ever to do 100 mile an hour on rollers, which is something. I won the Irish Championships 2 years in a row on that, and I also won the Irish Tandem Championships.
But wait a moment now, Gerry, you tell me here, 100 miles an hour on rollers?
On rollers, yes, with a 222-inch gear. Now that's hard to understand. There's 220 teeth and an 11 sprocket on the back.
How did you start it up?
I couldn't even start it up. I actually had to get somebody on the rollers. I had to get somebody to move the front wheel to get it going before I could even start it. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing, Gerry. And, but then in the end of your career, you ended up with helping out the paracycling people.
Yes. I worked with Blazing Saddles, a group called the Blazing Saddles, who was an Irish group to raise money for blind people with tandems, and I was asked to go along with them to do across America. So I went across from America, from LA right across to South Carolina, just down below New York. 24 days, 3,860 miles in 24 days. I was a mechanic on it now, of course. And ever since then, I just have been interested in people in tandems. While I was on that tour with myself and Dennis Toomey, we come across a girl who had said to us, "Why are you not at the Paralympics?" We says, "Paralympics, what's that?" She says, "Oh, there's a mate of mine in Paralympics over in Australia at the time, in Sydney." And we says, "Well, how do you do that?" "Oh," she says, "you need to have certain disabilities, but blind people, obviously, automatic." So we checked it up, and we went to our first World Championships in 2001 in Germany. Yeah. So it's been going since then, and we've now increased and done really well. To we now have one person 2 years ago who was 3 times world champion. It's unbelievable. We just can't believe it ourselves, the success that we've had from Paralympics.
That's why I remember you most, Gerry, because years ago there was a sort of time trial here in UCI once, and the paracyclists were invited as well, and it was in Belfast, if you remember. It's only a few years. The Celtic one.
The Celtic one that Brian Newson took part in. Yes.
And there I met you really. Then I talked to you first because Fran Megan was there as well.
That's right.
And most of the
again want to be world champion. Yeah.
So you would really think, what would have been your proudest moment as a soigneur and coach there with the paracyclist team?
Probably the first time someone won the World Championships. It was unbelievable. To stand and hear the national anthem played, I can't even. I think it was maybe Denmark, but it was just unbelievable. And of course, we've went from that till greater thing. That's probably about 7 years ago. We had our first.
But then a bit closer in 2012, again winning gold. I think Fran Megan was involved in that one as well, was he? Yeah.
We had one. Well, am I allowed to tell the story about that?
Yes, I will bring it up anyway.
No doubt you will. Whenever we were just improving, we weren't that happy that we were going to ever get into the World Championships and win a World Championship. So Fran Meehan and a girl called Walshy, that said to me, you know, Beggsy, if we really trained, we could maybe win a medal in London. And I says, because they were good on the track, and I says, if you win a medal on London, I'll run ballock naked round the track. And they says, would you do that for us? I says, yes. But now thinking on it, I says, you're going to have to win gold. He says, well, if you can do that, we'll win gold. So, of course, I thought there wasn't an earthly chance of this happening. So, then the next year, they won a World Cup, as Mark Dany has done. And then the year after that, they won the World Championships by 2 seconds. And I started to panic again. And I says, well, obviously I wouldn't be allowed to run ballock naked round the track. So I says to the girls, would you accept a mankini? And I says, yeah, that would even be better. So, of course, they got better and better until we went to London and they were into the final. And I had got this mankini and I had it on underneath my gear and I was working away at the bikes. And I'll tell you, it was cutting the arse off me. But anyhow, whenever they were actually beaten by 2 seconds, so I says, well, at least that's great. I didn't have to do that. That's all right, because I was really, really nervous. But then Mark Rowan won the road race. No, sorry, won the time trial. And he came to me that night and he says, Beggsy, I won gold and I never seen the mankini. And I says, but for a man, you have to win 2 goals before you see the mankini. So he went and he won 2 goals. And again, on Brands Hatch, the racing track in Brands Hatch, I had it on, had to run to the toilets, get it on, and I was sitting with 2 laps to go, and every time I was coming past, I said, I hope you don't win, I hope you don't win it, and to myself, but I wanted them to win, obviously.
Yes, of course. And
he came over the line, and he won, and as he came over the line, he just put his thumb up at me, and looked at me, panic. So I had to run, and I'm sure you've seen the rest of it, there's a video and all of it.
Yes,
and I stood with him like that, well, mankini on me, so unbelievable.
We will show a photograph in this video, but a side bit, so we don't you know, but we find it on your website, but it just because we cannot really do the front bit, you know, because because you forgot to shave.
Yeah, that would scare a lot of people, I can tell you. People have come up to me and said I ruined their night.
If the side bit scares a bit, but anyway, you're a fine, good-looking man, Gerry, you know, so you don't have to be very ashamed about your body anyway.
All I can say is the mankini didn't contain everything that was there.
No, but unfortunately about 50-60 million people saw it as well.
This is the thing, it's a problem.
Because it was live on television. Well, Gerry, it's a great interview, because this interview go great because I have a response. Sometimes very hard to do so, but this is great because it feels like, you know, we know what we're talking about. Yeah. Well, I wish you a lot of more success with the paracycling team, but also with Banbridge, because a great club that I have in my heart for a long time. I used a few lads of you already, you know, through my project in Belgium, and they all done me proud. And it's a stamping ground of cycling. There's something in the milk here.
We're doing something right. All I can say is,
and I'm not talking about that milk.
It must be the whiteness on the top. I think it's that wee bit there that makes all the difference. Yeah.
Gerry.
You shouldn't drink the black bit, you should only drink the white bit.
Gerry, also to let the people know, Gerry have done about 600,000 miles in his years of racing, in 50 odd years of racing, but that's about, what, 12 to 13 times around the world.
Yeah, and I'm now getting older and I'm still doing 120 mile a week, yeah. You shouldn't ride your bike unless you love riding your bike, and I do.
So youngsters, just listen to this, do it for fun. If you get good, do it for racing. And if you're retired, do it again for fun. And look, here is a living example of a man who is known in our head for the man with the mankini. But in another way, he done a great job for paracycling in Ireland and brought paracycling on the map of the world. Thanks very much, Gerry.
Thank you very much, Dany. Been a pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Here we are.